Exclusively streaming on Amazon Prime, and based on the hugely popular comic book series, The Boys takes the superhero genre to bold and original places in every one of its episodes. While The Boys seems effortless in terms of its humor, a lot of work goes into making it a hit. In fact, as we will discuss in this video, just the first season of the hit show had a budget of more than $11 million per episode. The Boys is an irreverent take on the superhero genre. The Boys tells the story of a band of vigilantes who take issue with the unchecked power that the world's superheroes seem to have, so they resolve to take matters into their own hands. The cast of The Boys is truly impressive. It features stars such as Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Erin Moriarty, and Chase Crawford contributing to the show's plotlines. The first season of The Boys was an overwhelming hit when all 8 episodes dropped on Amazon's Prime Video in summer 2019. The second season premiered in September 2020. 2 years later, the third season of The Boys dropped on the platform. Over the years, the show has consistently upped the ante in terms of quality and stunt sequences, with mind-blowing special effects and stunning visuals. How much does one of The Boys episodes cost? It's far from cheap to produce a show like The Boys. Fortunately, the production team behind the show is prepared to make each episode the best that it can be. An extravagant budget allows for extreme special effects and stunts. According to BuzzFeed, the first season of The Boys had a budget of $11.2 million per episode. After the first season became a hit, Amazon upped the budget for the show, allowing for even more to be spent on things like cast members' salaries, visual effects, and stunt sequences. Showrunner Eric Kripke opened up to Collider in 2020 about how production has been able to consistently up the ante as the seasons have progressed. He shared that they goosed up their budget a bit, a time which buys you the ability. And it doesn't just mean huge action scenes. It does mean some of those. He added that they have some huge sequences. Kripke went on to describe how that budget goes to a lot more than just enhanced stunt work. There are larger sea mammals. There is some bigger stuff for sure, but there's also a lot more intense stuff and scenes that were really difficult for the actors emotionally and require a bit more time. It's not just the visuals that are epic. He added that he thinks the emotions are a little more epic this season, and that just takes some TLC with the actors. The Boys was recently renewed for a 4th season. All the work and money put into The Boys has paid off in a big way for Amazon. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the 3rd season of The Boys was one of the top performing streaming series of 2022 in terms of viewership. More than 949 minutes were viewed in the first week that the season started streaming. Fortunately, viewers who are looking forward to even more of the outrageous superhero series will soon be able to indulge, with Amazon announcing in June 2022 that a 4th season of The Boys has been greenlit. Next up, let's look into some behind-the-scenes details about The Boys. Amazon's The Boys has several behind-the-scenes facts that are just as interesting as what's going on within the series. Having just finished its 3rd season to widespread acclaim, many fans are already agonizing about the long wait until season 4. In the meantime, while fans may have made themselves experts about the world within The Boys, they may not know as much about the world around it. From its inception as a highly controversial comic book series to a beloved television show, a lot has happened behind the scenes to bring the story of The Boys to life. From surprise casting choices to reused scenes, there's a lot that audiences may not realize about this TV series. Brett Basinger auditioned for Starlight. Erin Moriarty's portrayal of Annie January, aka Starlight, is one of the highlights of The Boys, but she wasn't the only actor who auditioned for the part. Another actor who entered the running was none other than Brett Basinger, known for her role as the titular character in the CW DC Comics drama Stargirl. Basinger's character in Stargirl is similar to Starlight in many ways, though she's considerably younger and surrounded by morally just superheroes. Although Basinger was likely disappointed to be passed over for Starlight, she's probably pretty happy where she is and considerably less likely to be drenched in blood or other bodily fluids. Next up, Senator Singer is a supernatural Easter egg. In the universe of The Boys, Senator Robert Singer is on track to become the next president of the United States, with Soup Victoria Newman as his VP. While this character is based on the comic book character Dakota Bob, a no-nonsense neoconservative who serves as president, he has ties to a supernatural character of the same name. The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke also created the highly popular CW show Supernatural. Actor Jim Beaver played Senator Robert Singer on The Boys and Bobby Singer on Supernatural. The name comes from Supernatural executive producer Robert Singer. Black Noir has a real-life nut allergy. Black Noir is a seemingly unstoppable killing machine. From explosions to gunshots to stab wounds, it seems as though nothing could stop this silent killer. Black Noir's singular weakness appears to be a debilitating nut allergy. When exposed, he seizes up and with enough exposure could even die. This choice was inspired by Black Noir's actor Nathan Mitchell, who actually has a severe severe peanut allergy in real life. Mitchell saw the choice as an opportunity to represent people with allergies, who he feels aren't often portrayed in a serious capacity, especially in superhero films. Next is that Elizabeth Shue was Anthony Starr's childhood crush. Elizabeth Shue portrayed Madeline Stillwell, a high-level Vought exec and handler of the Seven as well as all of Vought's soups. Currently, this position is filled by Ashley Barrett. While working together, Homelander and Stillwell developed a twisted relationship that was all at once maternal and sexual. Homelander eventually killed Stillwell in a fit of rage, leading to Barrett's promotion as her replacement. In real life, Elizabeth Shue is a legendary actor and has had a string of hits throughout the 80s and 90s. It's a little surprised that Anthony Starr had a childhood crush on the Hollywood star. Next up, the Deep isn't supposed to be Aquaman. In the series, the Seven is a much closer representation of the modern superhero landscape. As such, Chase Crawford's character, the Deep, is very clearly an homage to the incredibly popular DC Comics character Aquaman. Even his costume is reminiscent of the one Jason Momoa wears in his Aquaman films. In the comics, the Deep looks nothing like Crawford, and the costume design is way different. Instead, he more closely resembles longtime Aquaman foe Black Manta, sporting an antique diver helmet that covers most of his face. Seth Rogen and Garth Ennis have worked together already. Though their most famous collaboration is arguably The Boys, Seth Rogen and Garth Ennis have already worked together on an entire television show. Based on Ennis's seminal comic book series of the same name, Preacher ran on AMC for 4 seasons. The series followed Dominic Cooper, that is Howard Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as a small-town preacher who becomes the host of an ancient biblical anomaly that allows him to force anyone to do what he says. This incident puts him on a wildly absurd path that includes vampires, immortal gunslingers, and God himself. For those waiting for The Boys Season 4, this will definitely hold them over. Next up, the final shot of Season 2 was shot for Season 1. The final shot of Season 2 of The Boys depicts Homelander pleasuring himself on top of the Chrysler Building, screaming, "I can do whatever the I want." The scene was actually shot for Season 1, but was cut after Amazon execs deemed it too much. It's a fascinating caveat for many reasons. The shot is bizarrely beautiful, but the scene changes entirely depending on the context. At the end of Season 1, the scene would have been disgustingly celebratory, and a bit on the nose. At the end of Season 2, it's a provocative way to show just how broken and impotent Homelander is in the wake of his defeat. Wrapping it up, Huey in the comics resembles Simon Pegg, widely known for playing Scotty in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot and for his beloved collaborations with legendary director Edgar Wright, who is behind Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Shaun of the Dead. Simon Pegg is no stranger to geek stardom. Fans of The Boys TV series recognize him as Huey's father. Fans of the comics recognize him as Huey himself. Pegg was incredibly flattered that the original series by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson used him as a visual reference for Huey. In fact, he was so flattered that he wrote the foreword for The Boys Volume 1, the name of the game, and voiced Huey in their episode of The Boys Presents Diabolical. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do show some love and hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be informed whenever we post a new video. We'll see you next time.